Why, hello there. Last episode, we chatted about some of the cool abilities one could have when our brains are influenced by music. Today, we're going to see how music can help us if something goes wrong in the brain. So, what do I mean by if something goes wrong in the brain? Well, there are times where the brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and that could really affect how we act and behave. But before we get into that, let me tell you one story that all neuroscientists know, and that is the story of Phineas Gage. Oh boy, what a story that is.
In 1848, Phineas was working for a railroad company, and his job was to help blow up a part of a mountain so the company could put the railroads down. However, there was an explosion, and an iron bar flew into his face and up his skull.
Surprisingly, he survived the accident and was very much alive, though he wasn't really the same person after the accident.
His frontal lobe, if you remember, as the part of the brain that controls your personality and movement, was damaged from the iron bar. So, his personality changed from a very nice gentleman to a very, very rude boy. How rude.
This story shows that if the brain is affected just a little bit, it can make a huge, huge difference. And that is the beginning of the study of the brain and neuroscience in general. But before I get into how the brain goes wrong, there are some key things you should know about first. Your body is made up of living building blocks called cells. These building blocks are special to any part of the body they are designed to. So like your eyes, your bones, your muscles, and much more are made of cells. Cells for the brain are usually called nerve cells. And they are special because they are like computer wires that send information from the brain to the rest of the body to tell them what to do. But cells are not as strong as they seem. They are weak to harmful influences like viruses and bacteria that attack them. And as we get to the age of grandparents, cells get older and weaker, and they don't work as perfectly as they once did. There are many brain diseases, or neurological diseases if you're being fancy, that affect the brain in many different ways.
A few examples are Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. These diseases make the brain lose cells bit by bit, and this is called neurodegeneration. This targets all parts of the brain like the lobes, so you have decreased thinking and memory skills, decreased movement, decreased hearing, basically damages the entire brain and all their functions. Motor neuron disease targets the nerve cells in the brain and the spine, which connect to the muscles, the one that controls movement. Therefore, you lose all muscles that help you walk and move.
Stephen Hawking, who was a famous scientist, had got this disease. Other than diseases, we got disorders. A disorder is a fancy word to describe any out of normal behaviors if the brain was not working properly. Maybe for some reason you feel sad for no reason. Maybe you switch back and forth from a whole different range of feelings. Or maybe you see the world in a very different way. Or maybe... Whoa. Okay, we get it. There's a lot of problems in the brain. Can we just find a doctor to fix it? I wish it was that simple. All those nerve cells, all those connections that we have in our brain are, as I said, like computer wires. Now, computer wires are easily replaceable. Nerve cells are not. And scientists today are still trying to find ways to fix the brain. But, as you know, at this point, the brain is a lot complicated than we think. But thankfully, there are treatments to help the brain, ranging from medicines to surgeries and to therapies. And one of those treatments happens to be with music, which is called music therapy. Earlier on, you saw me walking through the room to the beat of the music, and yes, it is a little embarrassing and a little pointless. Though, I bet some of you have strutted to the beat of the music while walking along the street too. Did you know that walking to the beat of the music is one of the ways scientists used to treat people? Well, now you do. How does it work though?
Although the brain is damaged or broken, there are parts of the brain still active and can work normally. If one of those areas can process music, it can make a huge difference to treating people. This is called neuroplasticity, where undamaged parts of the brain can take over the damaged parts, and where different parts of the brain can learn to work together better. For example, some people can't walk properly because the part of the brain that helps them walk and move is damaged. But if people still have parts of the brain that process music and rhythm, the music and rhythm part of the brain can take over some of the damaged brain that processes walking. Therefore, people can actually walk normally so long as they hear the rhythm of the music.
Also, this is a fun one, singing can sometimes help people with speech problems. If someone has the speech part of the brain's damaged, don't worry. They can use the singing part of the brain to sing out their sentences instead. Imagine that, singing to talk to people. Hello, I would like to have some bacon and eggs, and a cappuccino for two. It's pretty amazing what scientists can do with music to help people, right? But why isn't this a big thing? Why don't more people know about the power of music? Well, there are music therapies done in the past, and they have shown that music does help in treating people. But not everyone responds to music the same way as others. And some brain diseases can't be treated with just music alone. Different people with different conditions need different ways to make them better. So yeah, music therapy is effective, but it really depends on the situation and the condition the patient is in. Nevertheless, no one can deny that music is more powerful than what people realize. And there are still people, students and scientists alike, who are still discovering new things right now and apply what we know to music therapy. It's important to continue the investigation of music and neuroscience, and that's what I'm doing now. I don't have all the answers, but what I have is the ability to make people think about the relationship between music and neuroscience. And I hope I have done so with you guys. Seriously guys, thank you so much for listening to me explain how music can be so important to our brains. This journey has been really fun, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And who knows, maybe one day you will be a scientist yourself and discover a lot of things about music and try to explain it to other people. But if not, I hope you still enjoy listening to me ramble. Well, until next time, this is Henry Lee, signing off. Good day, and see you next time.